Hey y'all, thanks for checking out Euclid Mining. So today I figured it all out. Everything seems to be working really well. The system seems to be working. Let's go ahead and hop over. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So I got an email the other day from Duke Energy saying that they were going to be going up to the critical peak pricing. So if you remember when I had my spreadsheet, the critical peak is right here. Now you don't see it anywhere on my charts. That's because it replaces the on peak time here and here. This is the summer rates, and this is what we're in now, winter. It replaces this with the critical peak for just once. That's every 18 and a half days it averages. So every 18 and a half days, we'll get one critical peak day. And all it does is just replace this area with critical peak pricing instead of just on peak. So since I'm typically not mining during this time anyway, it really didn't have much of an effect on me. Though I will say some mornings when I get up, maybe I drag my heels getting out of bed. I get up about 6 a.m. and I come in and I shut off some of my stuff. So some days, it's 6:15. So I haven't been perfect with it, but for the most part, I've been pretty vigilant, staying on top of it and making sure that I was shutting down during these times. But that one day yesterday was going to be the on peak, the critical peak. So I made sure there was no question about it. I got up a minute earlier, shut everything down, and as a matter of fact, kind of just was making sure I didn't have anything else on right then. Even turned the heat off so that wouldn't be running for the next 3 hours. I actually turned the heat on a little higher so it would heat up until 6 a.m. and then it would just shut off, hopefully carrying a lot of that heat with it during that 3 hour period. I know it seems a little crazy to do, but mining right now, this is how it is. So I just thought I'd go over some of the other things that I'm mining right now, what I'm doing. But yeah, I was able to make sure I wasn't on. Like I said, typically I'm not on. So it definitely, it made the difference. If I had that rate on there, it would be a lot more if I'd mined through that. Would have lost probably a day or two's worth of profits just mining during those hours. And that's another reason why I don't. You can see that if I don't mine through those and I do 17 hours on the off peak and then the 7 hours on the discount, I'm only paying about 7 cents per kilowatt hour. So if I can stick to that and I can try to push through this and do it this way, it will be more profitable for me. If I do cross that and I do get caught in any of these times, it pretty much wastes all of that mining in there. So if I was to mine through that for 3 hours, and that would be for 14, you can see that 25% of the electricity cost for that day is used in cost wise is used just in those 3 hours. That's why it's so important that I shut down. If I look at some of the other things, I've got some different numbers here. This is my L3. I put in the numbers 600 and 850, and it says it's pulling $1. The only reason I put it like this, it's a 1 cent profitability, and that's also with my 7 cents right here for electricity. If I look over here, and the only reason I put those numbers in, I'm going to put my real numbers in so you can see what I'm actually mining, but if I put these in here and I did what it's calling for, because it's saying 20 cents a day over here, and again, that's with 7 cents down here. If it's at 600 megahash at 850 watts, it's saying 20 cents a day. Over here, it is not that. I put in the same exact numbers because over here on ASIC miner value, you can't edit your numbers on it. So I just thought I'd look over here and see how it would compare. And it does not compare. This one says 1 cent a day. This one's saying 20 cents a day. Yeah, doesn't really jive. Let's see if we click on it. Make sure I still got that 7 cents in there. And see, now it's saying 7 cents when I actually click on it. So electricity $1.53. Over here it's saying $1.43. And if I look at mine, and I'm mining here, and let's see if I put in their numbers. Do I have that there? The 850. So it's saying $1.44. That's saying $1.43, and this is saying $1.53. So this one seems to be more off. The miner stat looks like it's a little tighter to, really reflects my electricity. So I'm going to kind of go with this one. Of course, I'd rather go with the one that says I'm going to make more, but, to be realistic, really 1 cent per day profitability with the L3. Now, if I run with my numbers, I'm running about 505 and I am running at 775. Let's try that one. And that one calls me in for $34 profitability a day at $1.30. So let's put that in there. So 775. So mine's saying about $1.32. This is saying about $1.30. Of course, my electricity isn't exactly 7 cents. It does have a little bit of a carryover. So that's why this one would be a little bit higher typically than the other ones, and $1.32 compared to $1.30. So yeah, this one seems to be more in line with what I'm doing. So I typically look at miner stat for myself. I do look at other ones just to get an idea and just sort of compare them a little bit. But overall, for my ASICs, miner stat has been pretty tight for me, so I've been using them. The other ones that I got going on, those boxes that I have, I'll be honest, I did not get that CK Box 2 up and running, and I'm going to do that today. But when I look at the top 4 most profitable over here, 3 of mine are in the top profitability. So that's decent. And again, this is really subjective to what you consider profit. The SC box is making 15 cents a day. The CK Box 2 will be making 27 cents, and the KD Box Pro will be making 28 cents, or it is making 28 cents a day. So those are decent because they are profitable. Nonetheless, I know one of my other videos I mentioned how other people poo-pooed on profits like this, and I get it. They only want the big ticket numbers. Of course, we all do. Can't afford the big ticket miners to get the big ticket numbers. So we get things that are a little bit closer into what I consider in my audience, the average Joe. I have a average job, a decent job, got a child, the wife, got a house. I mean, pretty down the middle of the road for me. When I was building out my rigs, I have 3060s, 3060 Ti's were my big cards. Couldn't really afford the 3070s. And, same goes with my ASICs. Buying a lot of these boxes because they are relatively inexpensive. I don't need to save up for months and months and months to drop, $3,000 and roll the dice on a miner for $3,000 that may, be in bad shape in 6 months or less or more, who knows. These miners are for under $300, and they're more in line with me every month. Let's say even if I threw 150 off each paycheck, I get paid basically twice a month, like probably most of you. I can squirrel a little away and buy another one of these little boxes, and they are profitable. So like I've said before, it's an easier pill to swallow. None of this is financial advice. This is just what I'm doing, and it's these little boxes, you can put them anywhere, and they use not much electricity, and that's really it in a nutshell. So overall, this one isn't putting the power on there. Let's take a look if we click on it. Yeah, it's putting it in there. So, look, it's not bad. It's 14 cents. It's in the black, and that's basically all I can go through. So let's look over at some of my GPUs. I do have my rig running. Some of these are, Kryptonite, Conceal here. That's about the least. So looks like NiceHash has a little extra in there. Some of these aren't, Ergo is only, to be honest, I've been mining Flux. Excuse me, not Flux. I looked at Flux. Neoxa. That's what I've been mining. I think I've got my numbers here that should be a little bit tighter to what I'm running. Also, don't forget, this is at my 7 cent kilowatt hour. So, there are some other ones that are a little bit more profitable, but I'm going for something here, and I've just been mining Neoxa. So there's that. Overall, as far as price today, Bitcoin is it doesn't seem down, but it's down over the past week. 16, almost 16.6. Ethereum, $1,200. Everything is down a little bit, up and down, up and down. You can see this roller coaster in here. A lot of ups and downs. So let's go down and check the price on some of these. Kadena, 87. Flux, 46 cents. That was down at like 44 again the other week, and I half bought, or I half wanted to buy that node at 44 cents, hoping that it dips again. And I don't think the bottom has come yet for everybody. I think that's going to come in the next 3-4 months, 5 months. I think we'll finally see a bottom, and then we'll start to hopefully start to see that uptrend. But for now, I'm still kind of holding back on if I was to just outright buy crypto. But Kaspa is down about half of where it was when we had that big pump with Kaspa, but still holding in there. Let's see, where are those others? I think I saw SC up here. I passed it. There it is here. So up a little bit. They had a good little push for just a short period, and then that went away. But that's how most of these are. Here's Neoxa. Back up a little bit, but man, just holding on really. Let's go 90 days out. So did have that little pump in here, which was nice, and then it did dip back down. It has started to come up a little bit, but everything is like this now. So anyway, that's basically it. The big thing was that I got that notification from the power company, so it worked. They emailed it. I didn't get a text, so I'm not sure exactly about that. At least I did get an email. That was cool. So I was able to prepare for that, and then to even make sure to go so far as to, just make sure I had other things turned off that morning. Didn't, in the morning, sometimes I flip a light on, go in the bathroom, I flip a light on, flipping here. That morning I didn't, I walked around in the dark a little bit. And I know, I get it. Really, is that worth it to go through all that? I mean, look, if I get caught and the power is on during some of those mining times that I don't want to be mining or using extra power, it happens. It does. But for sure as hell, on the day that it's 35 cents per kilowatt hour, that day, for those 3 hours, I am certainly going to be watching every light switch and making sure that everything is shut down, because that's where they're going to get you. So I don't know. I'm going to let this play out for a month or two, see how it works, see if it's worth the headache of making sure my stuff is shut down and whatnot. I am looking into one of those commercial timers for down in Crazy Town, so I can hook that up and have my ASICs on that, so I can get 1 or 2 of those timers and have that power on in stages, so I can get those on and off. And then I'm deciding on what I'm going to do for these mini miners as well, and see how I'm going to be handling those. So every morning right now I come in and I shut them off, but guys, I'm coming off a cold. Miserable. Anyway, that's it. That's where I'm at. Just a little update. I'm going to get that CK Box 2 up and running today and have a little fun with that. So I appreciate y'all checking in. If you want to subscribe, hit the button over there. If you watch any of my other videos, I have one up right over there. I'm trying to end this before I start having a coughing fit. I'll see y'all next time.